Welcome to NKTelco Sports. We are here at Wright State Lake Campus where the Boyce College Bulldogs take on the Wright State Lakers. Today's game is sponsored by Hot Brass Personal Defense, Varsity Lanes, Grand Lakes Skate USA, Stolly's Insurance, and NKT Television. We'll be right back with the starting lineups here on NKTelco Sports.
Brand presence is everything.
Lakers, Jordan Gorman, 5'9" freshman point guard.
Solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions.
Number 5, Jalen Huff. Number 12, Isaac Clay, Newport News, Virginia. Next is Quincy Green, 6'3" sophomore, and it's center, 6'10" freshman, Noah Bensman. Head coach for the Lakers, Richard Westerlund. Hello and welcome. I'm Dave Kanapke. Alongside me, Greg Burney, ready for a game between the Wright State Lakers and the Boyce College Bulldogs. Lakers are 4-9 overall, 3-0 in the conference. Boyce College 0-10 so far. Lakers have been playing some good ball, Greg, and they play a team they've already played once.
Yeah, they've won the last 3 out of 4 games they played. Gorman leading the way with 13.7 points a game. And as you mentioned, played Boyce back in November and defeated Boyce 106-74. So expecting to see an up and down game here. And Wright State hopefully able to continue that trend of the last meeting.
Benson with a 7-inch height advantage, but Boyce College controls the tip, and we are underway. Boyce College looking for their first win. It's Minnick Tucker with the basketball against the man-to-man defense for the Lakers. Shot up there by Rabke and in.
It's a pretty good start for Boyce. Knock down the first shot you take.
Gorman with the basketball. Gives it up to Huff. Those are two leading scorers to the Lakers, and they'll call a push off there on Huff.
Get that one right in front of the official. Obvious call. First foul for the Lakers.
Lakers will full court press. They caused 30 turnovers back when they played this team back in November. Trying to do a trap here. The Bulldogs trying to break it. And they get it across. Kick it out. 3 ball off the mark there by McKay. Rebound to the Lakers. Clay with the basketball will drive. Kick it out, Huff for the 3. Yes. Jalen Huff knocks down the 3.
Sorry, Dave, you feel that tempo already, like you said. Wright State pressing, want to keep this game up and down, trying to cause as much havoc as possible for Boyce. They do a nice job getting it across.
Drive to the hoop and off by McKay. Rebound and in by Alex Koss.
Nice foul there by Boyce.
Lakers down 5-3 here on our Grand Lakes Skate USA scoreboard. Shot off the mark there by Benson. Kicked out of bounds. It will stay with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good start for Boyce. Couple good possessions. Good look inside and a nice rebound there in the last one. Wright State got a great look inside to Benson. Couldn't finish. Trail here early on, 5-3.
And there's a steal. Huff with it. He drives a little bit too close to the baseline, steps out of bounds. It'll turn over to Boyce. Boyce College located in Louisville, Kentucky. Head coach Michael McCarty in his 16th year is head of the Bulldogs. Trying to work through the pressure. Almost a travel there, and there's a steal. Huff again. Kicks in the corner. Gorman with the shot. Gets his own rebound. Huff kicks it around. Clay will try a 3 and knock it down. Isaac Clay with the 3 ball for the Lakers. They take the lead. 6-5 Lakers.
Good ball movement there by Lakers. Nice offensive rebound, and again another turnover for Boyce.
Huff to Clay and in.
Back-to-back buckets for Isaac Clay.
Trying to get another steal. And it goes out of bounds. They'll say it will stay with Boyce. Coach Richard Westerland, not real agreeable with that call.
He wasn't a fan of that call,
no.
was he? It did look like it was probably touched off of a Boyce going out of bounds there. Tough to see. Fischel was right there as well, though. Either way, Boyce is going to take the possession, trailing 8-5.
Lakers on a 5-0 run right now. Turner with the basketball, tries to pull up. So they work it around. Now Rabke with the basketball. Drives to the hoop. Able to keep it alive. Shot up and in by Turner. 8-7. 16:48 to go first half here on NKTelco Sports. Lakers with a 1-point lead. Down low the big guy, Benson. Kicks it out, Gorman with the three. Rebound, Boyce. And here's a steal by Gorman. Three ball, Green in. 3 threes already for the Lakers, and they have 11-7 lead. And the full court pressure paid some dividends so far for the Lakers, and this time they cause a travel.
Definitely getting the turnovers. That's the 5th one already here early on.
Lakers want to push that tempo. They like a fast tempo. Also, they have more depth than what Boyce does. Control the pace. Huff with a three, off the mark. Rebound by Turner. To go the other way. Kicked out of bounds. It will stay with the Bulldogs.
You got to be impressed with Boyce so far on the glass. They've done a nice job rebounding. They're definite size disadvantage. Got a couple offensive rebounds, and now they got a couple defense here as well. They've done their part there. But Wright State definitely controlling the tempo here thus far.
Coach Westerland went all the way underneath the basket for a water bottle.
He was thirsty.
He was thirsty. You know? Nobody else would give him one. So.
Right.
Turner tries to drive. I'll have to kick it out. Rabke almost loses his footing. Drives to the hoop. Contact, no foul. Pushes ahead. Green. Almost, then he loses it. Turner with a fast break basket. So Lakers get a little bit of their own medicine as the Bulldogs score on the turnover. Down low, Benson. Turnaround. It's contested there by Alex Goss.
Again, another good rebound by Boyce. They've done a good job inside for the lack of size.
Rabke, three is short. Rebound to Huff. Over to Gorman, 10-footer, too strong. Rabke with the rebound. Boyce has the numbers here, 4 on 3. To the hoop was McKay, and he is fouled.
The foul's on Huff. That's his second. So going to get a couple Wright State substitutions here after the free throws by number 22, Drew McKay.
McKay from Meaderville, Indiana, on a roster of, I think they have about 10 players. They're from 8 different states, Boyce. So they have a couple substitutions for both teams. David Swillem, number 4, in for the Lakers. Also number 11, Nick Bassano will be in. Look at the Lakers roster. They also have players from 8 different states as well, as far away as San Antonio, Texas. Both teams draw players from far away from Ohio. Now everybody's in the ball game. We're at McKay shooting the second free throw. Cuts the lead to 1, 11-10. Lakers on the Grand Lakes Skate USA scoreboard. Try to go to Passano, that's stolen away. Turner tries to drive, work it around to Rabke. Can't find an opening. Almost lost his dribble. Gets it back. Rabke to the hole, draws the foul.
He does a nice job getting into the paint with his Rabke, drawing a lot of attention. They're definitely making him work. Be curious as this half goes on. Wright State applying a lot of pressure on Rabke as he continues to pound the lane.
Like the offense goes through number 24, Rabke.
For sure.
Once again, he has the ball. Going against Swillem. 3, and knocks it down with 2 on the shot clock. Rabke puts the Bulldogs back in the lead, 13-11. Drive Swillem, nice drive in.
Nice little runner in the lane there by Swillem.
Ties the game 13-13. Under Grand Lakes Skate USA. Scoreboard sponsor from St. Mary's, Ohio. McKay loses it on the way up, and he's out of bounds. When he regains possession, it'll go to the Lakers. Couple substitutions, 23, Tyrone off sand. And also number 21, Zeke Millhouse. In for the Lakers, 13-13. Coming up on 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Passano to Swillem. Tries to drive. Knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Lakers. Lakers 4-9 on the season, but they have won 3 of the last 4. Coming off a big win over number 8 Warren Wilson Owls on Sunday here at the Lake campus.
Number 14, Matt Bin, just checked in for Wright State. I believe they swapped out their entire first 5 for a whole new group. You mentioned the depth.
Sand knocks down a 16-footer.
Nice jumper in the lane there to give the Lakers the lead back at 15-13.
And there's a steal to the hole. Drive there by Sand. Too strong on the layup. There's Rabke again, trying to work off a screen. Will drive to the hole against Ben. Pull up. And they'll call a foul, it looks like, on Rabke.
His first foul, just the team's second.
Good position there by Ben on the rebound. Ben, number 14 from Fort Recovery High School. As he will run the offense, at least this possession. Swillem on the wing. Dumps it down to Pisano. Takes it strong through the lane and is fouled. We'll say that's before the shot, so it'll be a common foul out of bounds. They change their mind, it's a 2-shot foul. Pisano, the 6'9" freshman from Bishop Dwenger High School in Indiana, will shoot 2. Averages just over 7 points a game. Hits the first one. Shooting 57% from the foul line. Lakers shooting at close to 61% as a team. It's both. Lead now 17-13 Lakers with 12 minutes to go, first half. Full court pressure again. Rabke being double teamed. In some trouble and stolen again. Millhouse. Down low to Osan, and he tries to save it. They'll turn it over to Boyce.
A good utilization by Wright State, bringing that full court pressure. You know, you've subbed in almost twice as many bodies as the opposing team. You might as well use that to your advantage. Keep that tempo where they want it, up and down.
Boyce on the attack. White will shoot a 3. That is short. He gets his own rebound. Check that. That was number 3, Caldwell. Now Turner on the wing. Abwalk with the basketball. Shot off, partially blocked by Caldwell, followed by White. We'll go the other way, the Lakers. Millhouse to Ozan. Trying Trying to just build on their 4-point lead. Passano will be called for the charge.
Good position there on the defense. Passano's called there, obvious call, just run over his guy a little bit. Good job by the officials getting right in between what looked like could be a potential disagreement, we'll call it. But did a nice job getting in there and sorting that out real quick. But Wright State definitely has a nice advantage inside. No matter who's out there on the floor, they're just taller almost at every position.
And we will have a timeout on the floor called by Boyce. You're watching Wright State Lake basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
10:53 to go first half on our Grand Lake State USA scoreboard. The Lakers lead 17-13.
Yeah, the Lakers have put a lockdown on the defense. It was 13-11 in favor of Boyce. And since then, the Lakers are winning on a 6-0 run. They credited a lot to their defense.
Have a foul in the backcourt.
Fouls on number 23 for the Lakers. That's Ozan, his first.
5 fouls on the Lakers, 2 on the Bulldogs. This time they break the pressure. Caldwell with the basketball, they'll set it up to Minnick Tucker. Caldwell on the wing. Abwalk gives it up. Minnick Tucker. 3 by A.J. Caldwell. That's the lead to 1, 17-16 in favor of the Lakers.
Yeah, good looking offense at that time for Boyce, but Lakers go right back to work, get an easy 2 inside.
Nice strong move there by Nick Bazzano against some full court pressure. And there's a steal. Dunked and put down there by the Lakers, number 23, Tyrone Ozan.
We watched him in the warm-ups, and that's not a surprise. That guy's got some massive hops. Put a couple real nice dunks down in the pregame and showed off another one right there.
They put on a little dunking exhibition to definitely have some hops on the team. Shot rolls off for Boyce. McKay gets it, his own rebound. Alex Goss hits the jumper. Leon Otis, Alex Goss with the basket, cuts the lead to 3. Blocking foul called on Boyce on the drive by Swillem. And David will go to the line to shoot 2. Check that, that's before the shot.
Fouls on number 22, Drew McKay. His first, that's the 5th team foul now. I'm sorry, it's the 3rd team foul against Boyce.
24 Quincy Green back in the lineup for the Lakers. Passano, baseline. Boyce with the rebound. Minnick Tucker running the offense. Abwalk on the wing. Drive by McKay, fakes, puts up a shot, draws the foul.
Fouls on number 11, Nick Passano. His 2nd and his 6th now on the Lakers.
He joins Huff with 2 fouls for the Lakers. McKay with the first one, a senior from Meterville, Indiana, 6-foot guard, hits the first. Couple subs, number 12, Isaac Clay back in the lineup, along with Quincy Green, checks back in. Second shot for McKay. Tries to draw his team within one. Rolls off. Lakers with a 2-point lead, 21-19. 8:58 to go first half. Glad you're joining here on NKTelco Sports along with Greg Burning. I'm Dave Knapke.
You see the first unit basically come back in for the Lakers, looking to build on that 2-point advantage. It felt like they were going to start to get away a little bit there about the 10-minute mark, but give credit to Boyce. They've hung around to get a nice defensive possession there.
Shot rolls off for Clay. Caldwell in some trouble and steps on the sideline. Nice double team there by the Lakers.
Yeah, turnovers plagued them most of this half. That's 9 now for Boyce. Good defensive pressure there, again applied by Wright State.
Check the lineup. We have Gorman, we have number 12 Clay, 4 Swillen, 20 Perk Mallory getting his first action checks in as we have a foul, and the other player is number 24 Quincy Green. Foul on Boyce. Their third, 6 on the Lakers.
That was on number 5, Minnick Tucker.
Green inbounds it to Gorman. Gorman, the leading scorer at just under 14 points a game. Play on the wing. Trying to set up Mallory on the double team. We have a jump ball.
Good help on the inside there, coming by number 33, Isaac Gibson.
Ball under possession, keeps it with the Lakers. Gorman will inbound it. Gorman gets it back, tries to drive, finds an opening, knocked away on the shot. Boyce the other way. Caldwell is fouled. That'll be the 7th team foul, so 1-1 here for the Bulldogs.
That'll be against Gorman. Just his first, but as Dave mentioned, that's his 7th team foul now, so the 1-1 the rest of the way or better for Boyce with just under 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Misses the front end. Lakers the other way. Shot off the mark. There by Green. Clay gets the rebound. Gorman with a runner. Too strong. Boyce with the rebound. These two teams played each other on November 2nd at Boyce College. Lakers ran away with that game 106-74. Boyce hanging tough. Clay gives it up. Draws the blocking foul.
That'll be foul number 4 against Boyce. Fouls against number 3, Caldwell, his first.
Clay will inbound it. Underneath the own basket. A very young team for the Lakers this year. 12 freshmen. Only 3 sophomores are the upperclassmen. This team that's trying to get to NAIA Division II. Gorman with the drive, rolls off. Mallory with the rebound, and in. Perk Mallory with the follow, stretches the lead to 23-19 in favor of the Lakers.
A good second and third effort there, I should say, by the Lakers. And now they get a chance to apply their full court D again.
Okay, across the timeline. Kicks it down, shot there by Gibson, it's blocked. And that'll go out of bounds off of Gibson. Wright State ball. 23-19, just under 7 minutes to go here first half. Lakers in control of the Boyce Bulldogs. Coach Gorman looking at Coach Westerland for the play call. So reset the 30-second shot clock. Mallory sets the screen.
I was going to say a little movement out top. There's exactly what was called illegal screen against Wright State. That moving screen at the top, going to be foul number 6 against Wright State.
When you set that screen high, everybody, the referees can see everything,
Yeah.
so you better set a good one. And he, like you said, he moved.
It's great for your offense as far as getting somebody open and creating a mismatch. But as you said, it puts you right in the spotlight out there, and that screen isn't perfect. It's going to get called more times than not.
Minnick Tucker up ahead to Turner. That will be goaltending.
That one was up on almost inside the cylinder. And Nicholas Turner will be credited for a bucket, his 6th point of the night.
Bulldogs now within 2, 23-21.
And now they're applying a little full court zone defense.
Swollen to Gorman. Nice dribbling. Play. Loses the handle. Boyce has 4 on 2. Turner shot off the mark. Minnick Tucker now with the basketball. McKay with the 3. Way off. And a missed opportunity there for the Bulldogs. And a timeout, Lake Campus. Be a full timeout. We'll step aside here on NKTelco Sports.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet? Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
Trust us!
NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
6:02 to go first half. We have a good ball game here. Wright State Lakers 23, Boyce College Bulldogs 21.
Yeah, Wright State's had a couple opportunities where it looked like they were going to build on their lead and kind of extend this point differential, if you will, and give Boyce credit. Every time they've been down 4 or 5 points, at one point I think even 6, they've crawled back in, and now they're applying their own full court pressure. So Wright State looking for an answer right here. I'd like to see them go back inside. We talked about that earlier. They were really working the ball inside early part of this quarter.
Swillam with the drive, and that is blocked. We'll have a foul in the backcourt, so Boyce will be shooting a 1-and-1. Good defense there by number 14, Spencer White, as he went straight up there in the shot. Minnick Tucker will shoot the 1-and-1. So that foul was on Perk Mallory. He has 2. Logan Huff checks back in, or Jalen Huff, I should say, checks back in.
And now there are 9 fouls, so any foul, not offensive foul, committed the rest of this half, Boyce going to be shooting 2. A lot of time to go yet.
Misses the front end.
Caught a break there, missing another free throw.
See if the Lakers can get off 23. They've been stuck there a little while. Quick pressure has caused them a little. They haven't had any turnovers with it. It's kind of knocked them off their game. Swatted away on it. Looked like a alley-oop attempt. Abhock reverse layup. Nice move by Adam Rabke.
I'm just going to say we haven't heard much of Rabke on the offensive end here lately. Gets a basket there, and we're all even at 23.
Down to Clay, contact. It'll be the 6th team foul. against Boyce. Lakers probably fortunate that wasn't a steal on that one. It tipped around a little bit.
The last foul was on Minnick. His second.
Gorman with the three. White with the rebound. So 23-23. Boyce with a chance to take the lead for the first time in a while. So it's early in the game. Abhak misses the first one. They get another chance. Turner with the three. Rebound to Gorman. Pushing the tempo. Green has to pull it back. Green gets the ball back. Three off the mark. Rebound to the Bulldogs.
And a lot of one and done for Wright State. I mentioned it earlier. Boyce done a nice job on the defensive glass in particular. Be a good time here for Wright State to get a turnover and a fast break bucket, but Boyce going right at him.
McKay, the basket, did a nice ball fake and then waited, and Boyce takes the lead. Drive to the hoop, but there's a charge on Millhouse. What looked like a good opportunity results in a turnover the other way.
Momentum definitely in favor of Boyce. 4:10 left to go in the first half with a 2-point lead.
And this is a team that the Lakers beat by 32, and that was early November. Hungry Boys team looking for their first win. McKay, and I think
like
he
took
traveled.
a step. Yep.
He had the right idea going for the reverse layup, but he slid a little bit to get there.
He's had some success inside. Credit Wright State for making the adjustment and causing him to pump fake an extra time and take an extra step. See if they can get off of 23. Been stuck on 23 for about 5 possessions.
Drive and in by Quincy Green, and we are tied 25-25, 3:47 to go, first half.
Good drive there, a little floater in the lane by Green, his 5th point.
White is open and tried to kick it out. Clay with the steal. Up ahead is Huff, nice layup. Jalen Huff gives the Lakers the lead, 27-25.
5 points now for Huff on the night. You feel the defensive pressure by the Lakers starting to turn back up again with 3:20 left to go in the first half.
Substitutions as Gibson comes back in the game for Boyce. Lakers, after being stuck on 23 for a while, get back points on back-to-back possessions. Lead by 2. Drive to the hoop is blocked out of bounds there by Abwalk with the shot. Will stay with the Bulldogs. Boyce in red, trimmed by gray. The Lakers in their home white, trimmed with green. And almost a steal there by Huff. Stepped on the sideline.
.310 left to go. What's been a pretty exciting first half. Back and forth most of the time.
Lower scoring than what we expected.
For sure. We credit both defenses. They've come out and played a nice job defensively and really limited, in most possessions, multiple attempts. There's a great example. Huff with some very good defense causes the turnover.
Gorman did a nice job of keeping his dribble through a lot of traffic. Kicks it out to Green. He tries to get it to Huff and not able to handle the fastball. Turnover gives it to the Bulldogs. 2:47 to go first half. Lakers up by 2.
Alexakos coming back in for Gibson for Boyce.
The Lakers have switched to a zone. 1-3-1.
Yeah, Whip here. Huff out on top with those lanky arms. Nice defense and a turnover.
Gorman ahead to Clay. Couldn't finish. Rebound Three ball by McKay. Drew McKay gives the Bulldogs the lead back, 28-27.
When you feel like neither of these teams have really gotten a really good offensive flow going, we see back-to-back buckets both ends, but you know, I was just going to say, Boyce has almost settled into a better flow offensively. Like they seem like they moved the ball a little bit better, but a good answer there. A big three by Isaac Clay.
Gives the lead back to the Lakers, 30-28. Rabke with the trifecta.
And Rabke's had a solid first half. He's got 11 now, leads all scorers.
Gorman to the hoop. So go the other way. Turner all the way, a little too strong. Now the Lakers pushing the tempo. Gorman, Clay, back-to-back threes for Clay.
Little heat check there by Isaac Clay. He's now got 11. This is what we expected. A lot more up-tempo, quick shots, good shots in the lane. Lakers back up by 2.
33-31. Rabke. This is the Caldwell. Working around the perimeter. McKay with the three. That is short. Millhouse. Good ball movement. Gorman try to get Clay again. This time off on the third attempt. We're under a minute to go. Caldwell with the three. That's off the mark. Alex Koss with the rebound. A lot of offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs this half. Ball knocked around. It will stay with the Bulldogs. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Bulldogs have 11 offensive rebounds in the first half, so just 5 for Wright State.
Bulldogs trail by 2, but they have the basketball. 10 on the shot clock, 32 on the game clock. Caldwell will inbound it. Rabke, long three. McKay with the rebound. Alex Koss finally in. We're tied at 33, 18 seconds to go.
2 more offensive attempts there on the glasses. Boyce looking to answer Wright State.
Hassan is fouled. Tyrone will shoot 2.
Foul was on Alexa Koss. His first and just the team's 7th. So remember back in the 7-minute mark, I think it was, Wright State committed their 7th foul. And with 9 seconds remaining in the first half, Boyce just now commits. I guess that's their 8th now, but just now getting into the bonus.
Zen hits the first one. So Lakers the lead back, 34-33. It's a pair. We'll have a timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here. Just 9 seconds to go before halftime. Just Coach Michael McCarty taking a 30-second timeout. I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this telecast possible. Varsity Lanes in St. Mary's, Ohio. Hot Brass Personal Defense in Salina. Stolly Insurance in Salina. And NKT TV in downtown New Knoxville, Ohio. Our scoreboard sponsor is Grand Lake Skate USA in St. Mary's, Ohio. These fine sponsors bringing tonight's game. 8 seconds to go. Boyce with the basketball, down by 2.
We lost the second during the timeout, apparently.
Guess that's the price for a timeout is a second. I think one of them slipped away there somewhere. And full court pressure.
Nope, they added it back on.
Oh.
They heard us.
They heard
apparently.
you, yeah. I guess that one was free after all. Caldwell with the basketball. Gives it up to Turner as they try to run a play for McKay. Drives to the hoop, fakes, and in at the buzzer. Drew McKay, a nice play at the end of the first half for the Bulldogs. And we go to the halftime break. On our Grand Lake Skate USA scoreboard, we are tied 35-35. Lakers in the Bulldogs. We'll be back total up our halftime stats when we return on NKTelco Sports.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information.
We are at halftime and we are tied. Boyce College and Wright State Lake Campus tied at 35 apiece with the first half numbers. Mr. Greg Burning.
Thanks, Dave. Things pretty even 3-point wise. Both teams shot 5 of 13. Wright State 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Boyce 2 for 6. Pretty close to the 2-point range as well. 8 for 18 for Wright State, 9 for 20 for Boyce. Big advantage for Boyce was the offensive glass. 13 offensive rebounds to Wright State's 5. But getting that back was Boyce had 15 turnovers and Wright State only 7. So a little flip-flop of information there. Leading the way for Wright State was Isaac Clay with 11 and Ozine with 6. And for Boyce, they were led by Adam Rabke with 11, followed closely by Drew McKay with 9. So Wright State going to need to keep applying that pressure, I think, here in the second half. Keep Boyce off the glass. Boy, didn't think I'd be saying that started this ball game, but they've done a nice job hitting the offensive glass throughout. So if they can keep them off the glass, limit those second chances, I think we'll see a good second half here from the Lakers.
Seemed like the Lakers started off okay, and then they're getting that full court pressure, getting it. And then their offense just kind of got in a lull there. They just didn't get in the flow, and then
yeah, I think Boyce brought the energy. You know,
yes.
I really think they did. They fought that first storm and was able to overcome Wright State, even it up, and that's where we sit as we start the second half.
Boyce with the first possession. Rabke with a drive. Passing over the board. Go the other way, Huff gives it up to Gorman. Clay in the corner. Work it around the perimeter. Huff thought about a 3, trying to get a screen for Passano. Shot. Kept alive by the Lakers. Huff will try a 3. Off the mark. Rebound to Turner. 35-35. Just starting the second half here on NKTelco Sports. Glad you're along. Boyce College looking for their first win of the season. They are 0-10. Lakers are 4-9, but they've won 3 of their last 4. Turner shot off the mark. Drive by Clay. Goes all the way up. Work it around.
Defense not giving an inch there for Boyce. As Wright State looking for a shot now with 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Clay down to Passano, rolls off. Nick Ballin for the rebound. It will go off of Boyce. And the Lakers will get a new shot clock with the basketball under their basket. Jordan Gorman will inbound it. Leading scorer has been pretty quiet so far tonight. Has the basketball back, working off the screen for Passano. Clay drives, Huff, three, short. Rebound, Alex Cox. Somebody trying to break the 35-35 tie. No scoring so far here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Minnick Turner. Rabke to the hole and in. Adam Rabke breaks the tie. Boyce with the lead, 37-35.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're going to see a large portion of Rabke in the second half, just like we did in the first. He leads all scorers now with 13.
It's like early in the game, he got the ball. A lot of the offense went through him, and then they kind of expanded a little bit. McKay and some of the others. Wright State needs to get that offense going. A nice drive by Clay.
Good finish by Clay. He now has 13. And the game evened up again at 37.
Minnick Turner running the offense against Clay. McKay drives to the hole, swatted away there by Passano. So he asserts his presence, so he'll stay with the Bulldogs. Coach Michael McCarty calls out a play in his 16th year. The head of the Bulldogs, Boyce College located in Louisville, Kentucky. McKay on the wing, tries to drive, fakes, puts up a shot. He's done that several times. He gets to that block and he fakes. The time they didn't quite buy it, but he still drew the foul.
Yeah, he's very shifty in the lane, uses his body control very well. We'll draw the foul there on Nick Passano.
So McKay will try to break the tie. Senior guard, 6-footer.
Third foul on Passano, so as Clay misses the free throw.
From Meaderville, Indiana. Now 38-37, Boyce Bulldogs. Huff gives it up to Gorman. Reach in foul against Turner, number 10. Coach Westerlund trying to direct his offense. It's been sluggish at times here tonight. They put up 106 against Boyce in early November. Clay shot off the mark. Turner against Huff. Huff tries to reach in. He called for the foul.
That'll be his third foul as well, so a couple foul trouble issues there early on.
Well, Zen in the ball game, number 23 for the Lakers. Boyce College 38, Wright State Lake 37. 16:46 to go in the ball game. Rabke has to give it up to McKay. Off the screen to the hole. Rebound Lakers. Pushed ahead. Gorman to the hole and in.
Nice outlet there, able to get down the floor quickly, get an easy two-pointer. We haven't seen too many breaks in this ball game by the Lakers. They get a good one there.
Gives the lead back to the Lakers, 39-38. Turner shuffles his feet. Lakers have won 3 of their last 4. Back on the first, they defeated Southern State. Then they lost to University of Pikeville before winning at Southern State on Saturday, and then won against Warren Wilson this past Sunday in a game that was on NKTelco Sports. Green rattles home a jumper.
7 points now for Green. Big bucket there. Stretches the lead up to 3.
41-38. Gorman putting some pressure on Minnick Tucker. Nice pass. McKay can't finish. Ball on the floor. Lakers on the attack. Huff in and out. Kay with a rebound. Tempo's picking up a little bit.
I was just going to say, you feel like it's back to that first half where it was a little helter-skelter. I think that's really what Wright State wants.
Caldwell with the 3, and we're tied at 41. A.J. Caldwell ties us up on the tray. Clay toss in and in. Tyrone Ozen puts the Lakers back up 43-41. Tucker gives it up, foul on the drive.
Fouls on number 24, Adam Rabke, his second.
Trio of Lakers in, number 4, David Swollen, 14, Matt Ben, 21, Zeke Millhouse in the game. Coach Westerlund. Lakers clinging to a 2-point lead. Minnick Tucker in.
Tough shot there, finished by Tucker.
43-43. Ben drives baseline, kicks it out. Ozen, battle for the board. McKay ends up with it. Boyce with a chance to take the lead. White didn't see it coming. They get a break and hold on to it. That's a pass out to the elbow there.
Right? Literally.
Caldwell to White. McKay through the lane, contact, blocking foul as Ben tried to draw a charge.
It's the first foul on Ben. We talked about it before, that shifty move inside by Drew McKay. It's gonna, I believe, earn him a trip to the free throw line. Not sure, talking about it, but it looks like it. Yep, gonna be 2 free throws for Drew McKay. He's 3 of 6 on the free throw line today.
Chance to break the tie.
Maybe they got the wrong approach here. He's been causing a lot of problems at the basket. Maybe they should just foul him. I'm just kidding. The 3 of 7 now for McKay at the free throw line.
And in general, the Bulldogs haven't shot real great from the foul line, have they?
No, they have not.
Makes the second 44-43 in favor of Boyce College.
They're 5 of 11 from the free throw line now for the ball game.
Gorman tries to drive. Millhouse picks up his dribbles, now able to get it back. Zeke through the lane, forces one up and travels.
So off the turnover, Wright State going to pull up their full court press.
Boyce has done a nice job adjusting to it. Okay, this time doesn't drive, so he will pull it out. Rabke, Caldwell, swatted away there by Millhouse. Ozen, Gorman, blocked, out of bounds. It will go to Boyce College.
Well, you feel that push to get down the floor, take a shot, but you almost feel like they're getting contested. Boyce is getting back, and instead of sitting back in and trying to take a better shot, they're forcing it a little too much, and the defense is there. Boyce has done a nice job contesting almost every shot tonight.
Boyce definitely does not look like an 0-10 team.
That's for sure.
Turner, 17-footer. Good hustle by Gorman to get the rebound.
Wright State doing a much better job on the defensive glass here in the second half.
Gorman trying to find space. Ben will try a three. All bounces around. Azen comes up with it.
Good pass.
Feeds Green. Check that, Millhouse with the assist to Green.
Yeah, good look inside off the second chance opportunity.
Millhouse with the steal. Swillem drives baseline, blocked. Go the other way, Rabke against Ben. To the hole, good job by Ben.
You thought they might get it off of Rabke there. He obviously thought he was fouled. I thought it might have went off of his leg, but.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Ben seemed like he knocked it right off of his leg, but so in a way you can say neither player got the call they wanted. So the end result will compromise.
We'll call it a redo.
Yeah. McKay to the hole. Drew McKay gives the lead back to the Bulldogs.
Well, he makes those little drives down the lane look easy. He now has 15.
Swillem 3-2 strong. Lakers get the offensive rebound. Ben to Swillem on the wing. Through the lane in traffic. Good follow by Millhouse. Zeke Millhouse with the stick back. And a 1-point lead back to the Lakers. Rabke directing traffic, trying to drive on Ben. Abwalk. Rabke again. Ben a pretty good defender, but will draw a foul on Ben. Third foul, team foul on the Lakers. Haven't had near the fouls here.
Second foul on Ben. Yeah, they've done a much nicer job rebounding and controlling those quick fouls they got in the first half. I was just going to mention, expecting to see some of their first unit come back in, and Huff checked back in for the Lakers.
Abwalk tries to drive. Reset the lineup when the Lakers get the ball. Shot is short by Turner. Abwalk gets another offensive rebound. In the corner, wide open is Gibson. Rebound Lakers. Push ahead, Huff to Swillem and in.
A nice unselfish play there by Huff. Gives Swillem his 4th point.
Back to a 3-point lead, 49-46 on our Grand Lake Skate USA scoreboard in St. Mary's, Ohio. Abwalk shot rolls off. We'll stay with Boyce College.
Another second chance opportunity. Defense shifted over a little late there on that possession, which leaves the bucket wide open after the shot. And there's your second chance attempt by Olaskos. And count it.
Chance to tie it with a 3-point play. Alex Goss from Georgetown, Kentucky, the freshman. Probably not too far away from Louisville, Kentucky. Nice strong move as Isaac Clay checks in the lineup.
The last foul was on Huff, his 4th.
As he will leave. So we have Mallory 20, 21, Millhouse. Swillem number 4 as we're tied at 49. Clay number 12 and 14 Ben. Your 5 Lakers on the floor. Millhouse drives and Zeke will go to the line to shoot 2.
Going hard to the hole was Zeke. Foul was on number 22, Drew McKay, just his 2nd.
Millhouse, a freshman from Anderson High School in Indiana. But before he shoots the foul shot, we will have a timeout. Looks like a 30-second timeout. So we'd like to thank our sponsors for making this game possible. Varsity Lanes in St. Mary's, Hot Brass Personal Defense, Stolly Insurance in Salina, NKT TV in New Knoxville, our Grand Lakes Skate USA in St. Mary's, our scoreboard sponsor. Our crew here tonight, in the van, Daniel Allen and Bryce Hamrick. On camera, Kurt Kuffner, Patrick Toller, and Tyler Wolf. Along with Greg Burning, I'm Dave Kanapke. First replay of this game is on the 15th, Friday at 6 p.m. Second replay, Saturday the 16th at 12 p.m. You can watch this and all the games on demand when you want on NKTelco.net. 49-49 with 10:05 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, looking at the score from the previous matchup, would not have expected this, but Boyce coming out, like you said, they do not look like an 0-10 team. Have played well here throughout. As you see, Zeke stepped to the free throw line trying to give the lead back to the Lakers, and he does.
Nothing but nylon on the first. Well short. Ben with a nice hustle gets the rebound. And a fresh shot clock for the Lakers. Millhouse got a little bit too far. Hazen tried to follow. Once again, Millhouse finishes it.
Couple second chance opportunities there for Wright State. Millhouse, as you said, scores it. He now has 5. I think it was Olaskos that was underneath that pile. Thankfully, he seems to be okay as he walks off.
Full court pressure, and there's almost a steal. White comes up with it. Bulldogs will set their offense down by 3, under 10 to go. Minnick Tucker to check that. Abwalk to the hole and is fouled. Moses Abwalk shooting for 2 free tosses.
He's been very active in the lane this whole ball game. First chance here to get on the scoreboard. Won't do it with that one.
It's back iron. Rabke checks back in the lineup. Rabke from Houston, Texas. Abwalk from Louisville, Kentucky, where Boyce College is located. This is a pair. And, goes out on the Lakers.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Boyce is, again, another second chance. That one easily could have been avoided. Little mishap, lapse of effort there maybe by Wright State. Either way, Boyce got the ball. Another chance to cut into that lead.
Rabke. Rabke open for the tray and knocks it down. We're tied again, this time at 52.
Rabke now with 16. Little overplay there by Wright State trying to get a steal, cost him. As Rabke was wide open. If you've watched any of this ball game, he's got a sweet stroke and he knocks down another one there.
Millhouse misses. Mallory can't rebound and Rabke ends up with it. Chance for the Bulldogs to take the lead with under 9 to go. Codwell. Rabke. This 3 does not fall, but Minnick Turner hustles for the rebound. Finds an opening, kicks it out into the corner. Rabke with a tray.
Big shot there. It's just like that. Back-to-back threes from Rabke. Boyce back on top by 3.
Millhouse Swollen. David tries to drive, will kick it out to Clay. Through the lane, nice pass, Perk Mallory. Mallory is fouled. Sweet pass by Clay.
Yeah,
to set up Mallory.
Good read on the inside. That fouls against number 3, A.J. Caldwell, his second. You know, I noticed this earlier in the second half here. We haven't seen a lot of Benson. I'm starting to wonder maybe he suffered an injury in that first half, the 6'10 freshman.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't believe he's came back in since that first stretch. That was a big size advantage for the Lakers as they substitute several back in.
Gorman in, 24 Green, and Azen be checking in. Mallory makes this foul shot. Misses both of them. The Lakers still trail by 3, 55-52 in favor of Boyce College. Boyce having some trouble in the backcourt, and they call a timeout. Quick timeout, we'll be right back.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today.
Jet! Jet? Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
8:03 to go in the ball game on our Grand Lakes Skate USA scoreboard, and the Lakers find themselves down by 3.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of this in the first half, and that is like you feel like Boyce has slowly kind of got that tempo back into their game again. It's a little bit more half court. It gives Rabke a little more time to go inside and work, knock down a couple threes. Wright State going to have to get a couple defensive stops here. Right, 8 minutes left to go in the ball game. A lot of time yet, trailing by 3 though.
Lakers switch to a 2-3 zone. They play a little 1-3-1 late in the first half.
Yeah, I'd make sure I know where 24 is at in that zone.
Caldwell with the turnaround. Jay Caldwell makes, I believe, the biggest lead of the night for Boyce at 5. See if the Lakers can respond. Gorman with a runner draws a foul.
And Gorman will get a chance to cut into that lead with the clock stopped. That foul's on number 5, Minnick Tucker. That's his 3rd.
Rattles home the first. Gorman, a freshman point guard from Nelson Snyder High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Leading scorer just under 14 a game. Makes a pair. 7.5 to go. Lakers down by 3. Picking up the pressure, they'll drop into the zone. 3 ball off the mark by Gibson. Foul on the rebound against the Bulldogs.
Good break there for Wright State, or maybe it wasn't a break because obviously they called a foul underneath, but it looked like Gibson was going to have possession there as that foul's called against Minnick. It's his 4th. Guess he'll check out.
He's been running the point for Boyce. Let's see how they're affected by that. Right now the Lakers can tie with a 3. Clay tries to drive. Gorman pull up from the foul line. Nice shot.
Much needed basket there for the Lakers.
Lakers are within 1, 57-56. Rabke having some trouble and a steal by the Lakers. Foul in the backcourt. That was probably a good foul there by Boyce. This probably would have been a basket the other way. Drew McKay checks back into the lineup. Just the 6th team foul. Lakers with 7, so from here on out we'll be shooting free throws. Gorman working off the screen by Swillam. Clay dumps it down to Azen and in. The Lakers retake the lead.
And if you remember, we saw a little bit more of that in the first half. Azen with great position inside and a definite advantage. Gets his 10th point of the game.
McKay, good defense there by the Lakers. I think Ozen on the defensive play knocked it out of McKay's hand.
Big momentum basket right here. If Wright State can go down and score again, kind of get the flow going back their way. If I'm Wright State, I go right back into Ozen. Run your offense around the point, rotate the ball around. Instead, they turn it over.
Steal by Turner. Nicholas Turner now running the point, gives it to Caldwell. He was the leading scorer with 15 back when they played in November. Grabke stolen away. Swillem loses the handle, gets it to Clay. Ends up Gorman with the three. Shot is short. Turner swatted away by Ozen, and that will go off of Boyce, and it'll be Laker basketball. Flurry of activity. So we go back and forth, and we will have a timeout. A little wild activity.
I guess.
A flurry.
A big
End result.
flurry. That was more like a squall, you know, a big snow squall came in on us real quick. But, you know, we talked about it right before those last couple possessions. Wright State got a great possession inside to Ozen. They worked the ball around the paint. He gave him time, and I think more importantly, it spaced the floor. So earlier in the half, they got a lot of possessions where they tried to get it inside. As you see the good defense there by Ozen, and they weren't able to get it in there because there's help. They spaced the floor better that last possession, dumped it in on Zenian, 1-on-1, clearly had the advantage, made a nice move in the paint. I think you're Wright State, you got to look at that again. You can always kick it back out and get it to one of your open guards for a shot, but I think they've got a nice advantage inside there with him working the paint. Be interesting to see if they go back in that with a 1-point lead and coming off the timeout.
Wright State still in a 6-0 run after Boyce had opened up a 5-point lead. Lakers have responded to that. Haven't been able to build on that in the last couple possessions. Work it around the perimeter. Gorman drives, kicks it out to Green. It'll be a blocking foul. It'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity unless they call it a shooting foul. We'll see.
Foul's on number 10, Turner. For Boyce, that's his second.
So 1-and-1 here by Gorman.
He's 2 for 2 at the free throw line here tonight.
Now 2 of 3. Lakers not able to build on their 1-point lead. Turner gives it up. Grabke. Double team, in some trouble. McKay. Alex Cawson in.
Great pass from McKay to find the open Alexakos inside, and he's able to finish.
Lead back to Boyce by 1. Gorman doesn't fall. McKay to Turner. Grabke. Alex Cawson, another layup. Wow. Nice reverse one.
Couple back-to-back buckets just like that. Leonidas Alexos has 13 points. And he, more importantly, has given his Boyce team a 3-point edge. Wright State looking to answer.
Swillem, 3, and there'll be a foul on the rebound against the Lakers.
Yeah, good possession there by Alexakos again. Gets the foul called against Swillem. It'll be a 1-and-1. Just the first team foul against Swillem.
Leonidas Alexakos.
Sorry, that last foul was against Ozen. That'd be his second. Alexakos only shot 1 free throw tonight. He was 1 for 1.
He's now on a 5-0 run for his team. Foul on the rebound, this time on Caldwell. As we go back the other way, and we'll shoot a 1-and-1.
And here's where you got to be careful, right? There's 4 minutes left to go in the game. You want to play good defense, but you can't be too aggressive either, because all you're going to do is walk to the other end and give your team, the other team, a chance to shoot some free throws and build on the lead or help, in this case, hopefully it'll help Wright State cut into the lead. Because both these teams now with 8 fouls, it's going to be a lot of free throws here shooting down the stretch with 4:08 to go.
Green hits the first. 62-59 Boyce in front of Wright State Lake with 4:08 to go on our Grand Lake Skate USA scoreboard.
Quincy Green now in double digits with 10 on that first free throw, now 11.
Another timeout on the floor. Keep it right here again to thank our sponsors for making this Wright State Lake telecast possible. Varsity Lanes, Hot Brass, Personal Defense, Stolly Insurance in Salina, NKT TV in New Knoxville, Grand Lake Skate USA in St. Mary's. If you missed the first replay, that was Friday, December 15th at 6 o'clock. You can watch the second one at December 16th at 12 o'clock. They're on Channel 3 and also in HD on Channel 503. Right now, the Lakers down 62-60 to Boyce College.
And at last time out, Jalen Huff checks back in the ball game. He has 4 fouls for the Lakers as they trail by 2.
Also, Minnick Tucker in the game. He's playing with 4 as well. Both coaches decide this is the time to roll the dice. Point of no return. Minnick Tucker to Caldwell. Now Rabke. Shot clock under 10.
There.
Yep. Traveling. There'll be a chance for the Lakers to tie with a 2 or take the lead with a tray. We have Gorman, we have Green, Huff. We also have Clay and Zen in the lineup. They go to Huff. Zen tried to jam it, but it's fouled.
Foul was called against, I believe against number 22, Drew McKay. That'll be his 3rd foul.
Tyrone Ozen in and out on the first one. Hometown is Houston, Texas. Played at Lanston High School in Virginia last year.
A good shot of Ozen there, trying to get to 11 points here if he makes this second free throw. In and out.
Rabke with the board. Boyce with the basketball and a 2-point lead. McKay to the hoop. Rabke to Caldwell in the corner. Good rebound by Clay. Pushing it up ahead to Gorman. 3:10 to go. Lakers down by 2.
Good pump fake there by Huff, gonna draw the foul. I believe that's
on shooting 2. Or 1 at 1-1, I should say.
Fouls on number 24, Adam Rabke, his 3rd.
Huff averages just over 10 points a game.
That's the 10th foul, so he should be shooting 2 here. It's Huff. Sorry, Dave.
This is the first one. Lakers not hitting very good from the line.
Yeah, I believe they've missed the last 3 out of 4. Big opportunities here to get back right back in the ballgame. Still just trailed by 2.
Makes the second. Lakers coming off a big win over number 8, Warren Wilson. Right now in a battle with Boyce College, the 0-10 Boyce College. Come in here to Salina, has played a very good ball game. And there's a steal by Green. Ozen to Clay, to the hoop, and a charge the other way. It's a big call. Minnick Turner takes a charge, or they call a block. That's 5 for Turner.
Good position. I think it was a good call. That foul called against Clay, his first. No free throws on that when you see the replay here.
Good call.
Slid right into position.
Yeah, but I think he had his feet set.
But you hit it on the head, Dave. He doesn't get his feet in there, and he's out of the ball game. And he's definitely been a big catalyst for the Boyce Bulldogs.
1-3-1 zone. We'll keep an eye on Rabke wherever he goes. Right now with the basketball, almost not a steal.
And 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
McKay had to rush a three. Lakers the other way. Azen loses the handle. Minnick Tucker. And
so he might have a foul there. That might be the last one for Minnick Tucker, as he got a little pushy there on that loose ball. The official was right in front of it.
That's one of those frustrations. Foul. Minnick Tucker lost the handle, and then he just got frustrated, tried to get it.
Yep.
So Coach McCarty's going to use this as one of those mini timeouts, because you get, what, 30 seconds to put a sub in when somebody fouls out. Coach McCarty in his 16th year at Boyce College.
Looks like he's going to put number 10 back in the ball game, Turner, as Tucker fouls out with 2 points. But really the catalyst for this Boyce offense.
Green will be shooting 2. Chance to take the lead. Lakers down by 1. And he ties it. Green from Dinwiddie, Virginia. Averages over 9 a point game.
Sorry, Dave, Alexakos checking back in. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the game. We're dead even.
Still even.
Still even.
A lot of opportunities in the foul line has gone by the boards for the Lakers. McKay, Turner able to hold on to that, and there's the steal by the Lakers.
That's what you miss when Huff is on the bench. He definitely disrupts the offense.
Coach Westerlund with the timeout. 1:38 to go. We are tied at 62. We'll be right back.
Trust us.
NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion, and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information.
1:38 to go in the ball game. We are tied 62-62 on our Grand Lakes Skate USA. Coach Westerlund calls a timeout ahead of this big possession.
Yeah, you can throw the records out of the window right now. They don't mean much of anything, as you just got to have your team play better than the other one for the last minute 38. Every possession big, and those free throws looming large. Wright State hopefully to overcome.
Knocked out of bounds, so stay with Wright State. We have been back and forth this whole half. Huff and in.
Good angle there for Huff off the inbounds play. He now has 8 points. Big 2 there for Wright State.
A big possession for Boyce. Looking for their first one of the season. McKay loses the handle. Unfortunately for him, he draws a foul.
It's going to be against Green, his first. More importantly, it's going to be the 10th team foul against Wright State, so stepping to the line, shooting 2 will be McKay. He is 4 of 8 from the free throw line here this evening.
He was in a little bit of trouble with the basketball there before he got the foul call. Rolls in the first.
Yeah, he was charging down that lane pretty hard. 2 or 3 different Lakers in his way. Like you said, he got a little bit of a break there with the foul call, knocks down both free throws.
64-64. 1:11 to go.
Well, you almost feel like there's a buzzer beater coming. This game's been tight throughout. Hopefully it's a Laker buzzer beater.
We
if
had a
it gets to
buzzer
that
beater.
place.
Boyce had a buzzer beater at the end of the first half. Zen, a little hook shot.
Nice play by Tyrone. His 12th point of the ball game.
And a timeout by the Lakers. Full timeout. You're watching Laker basketball on NKTelco Sports.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet? Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
57 seconds to go. The Lakers have the ball and, more importantly, a 2-point lead.
Yeah, looking for a defensive stop here. They're going to have to keep their eyes on Rabke, the guy taking the ball out of bounds. And remember, McKay has had a nice ball game and also has number 42, Leonidas Alexakos, who's 14 points as well. So they've got 2 or 3 threats, and we can't forget about Mr. AJ out there on the wing, number 3 as well. They've got some weapons. So Wright State needing a big defensive stop here.
McKay gets his own rebound. Caldwell puts up a 3. That's well short. We have a jump ball on the rebound. Possession arrow gives it to the Lakers.
Wow, I thought that was going to be a foul. Huff going to the free throw line. Instead, it's a jump ball. At least the Lakers keep it on that.
So another timeout on the floor. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for making this telecast possible. Varsity Lanes in St. Mary's, Hot Brass Personal Defense in Salina, Stolly Insurance in Salina, NKT TV in New Knoxville. Green Lakes Skate USA in St. Mary's is our scoreboard sponsor. Our crew tonight, the veteran crew, Daniel Allen and Bryce Hamrick in the van. And the camera, Kurt Kuffner, Patrick Toller, and Tyler Wolf. My partner, Greg Burney, and I'm Dave Canappi, and it's been a good ball game here tonight.
Yeah,
Greg.
you can't ask for much more. 2 points with 37 seconds remaining. Lakers have the ball, going to have to make sure they're smart with the ball here, don't force anything, and get the ball to your best free throw shooters and or ball handlers. They've got some pretty good ones on the floor. Zen is 2 of 4 at the line. Green 3 of 4. 3 of 4 also for Gorman. And Huff is just 1 of 2. So nobody really struggling at the free throw line, if you will, collectively for the Lakers. But big thing here is just to take care of the ball, get it across half court, and run some time. You get that clock, if you get a good possession, get it all the way down to 7 seconds.
Not really a full court press here. It's look like a 1-1-2 press. Gorman gives it up to Clay. Isaac will be fouled.
Fouls against number 3, A.J. Caldwell, his 3rd. Clay has not shot a free throw here this evening. He does have 13 points, but none of them coming from the free throw line.
That's better than his average of 7 from Newport News, Virginia. Big foul shot. He could make this a 2-possession game if he can hit both. Successful on the first.
Alexa Koss checks back in for Boyce.
This is a big foul shot here. Stand it to a 4-point game if Isaac can hit it. And he does.
15 points now for Clay.
Swillam will check in. Or a Zen. Right now, if you're Boyce, you just want to score quick. Maybe then call a timeout if they have one left. Turner, Rabke. Down to 20 seconds. McKay almost traveled. Alexakos, Rabke, 3, short. That went over the backboard, and it will be Laker ball with 10 seconds to go and a 4-point lead.
And a big break there on the rebound as Alexakos had that thing all wrapped up. Shot goes out of bounds, 10 seconds remaining.
Abwalk will check in for Alexakos. Lakers right now just get it in. And Gorman will call the timeout with 10 seconds to go. So we'll just keep it right here. It was at halftime. We were at 35-35. It's a much different game than when these two teams played down in Louisville November 2nd. The Lakers won that game 106-74. And Lakers just dominated that game from what we can tell from the recap. But today it's been back and forth. There's been several lead changes, especially in the second half. The Lakers led early in this game, early first half, but Boyce, it seemed like about halfway through the first half, played their game, and it's been a battle since. Right now the Lakers up by 4.
I think it was really a confidence thing for Boyce. They realized that right before half, they're like, you know, we can play, we're fine, and they really settled in. And you know, they always tell you that you don't want to give a team that's down any confidence, and it's been there. But fortunately for Wright State, the Lakers, they've responded, got some big points here down the stretch, knocked down some free throws, something they struggled with a little bit about the 2 or 3 minute mark. They got some big ones though, just here under a minute, able to extend to a 4-point lead. Now with just 10 seconds to go, just need to get the ball in play, and I think they'll walk out of here with a W.
Jalen Huff will inbound this time. Bulldogs will not defend the inbounder. Pass up ahead, stolen by McKay, but ran some clock, and they go timeout with 5 seconds to go.
You know, I didn't mention that because I was thinking the same thing when they went the timeout. It's like, you know, you almost want to throw the ball the other end, so you don't turn the ball over at your end of the court. The problem with that is it's a harder play, so you got to make a perfect pass. Give Drew McKay credit. He played it perfectly for Boyce. Came up with the steal. Now with 5 seconds remaining, you're still really at a pretty good place if you're Wright State. You just don't want to foul.
Yes.
Make them take a hard shot. Make them run a second or two to get to that shot, and the time will almost be expired by the time the ball gets to the bucket. But that's easier said than done sometimes as well. I'm sure Boyce looking to run something to where they can pull somebody off of a screen from underneath and get a shot as soon as they catch the ball. Otherwise, you don't have much time. That's still going to take you 2 to 3 seconds at least by the time ball gets up to the rim. So Wright State just got to make sure they don't do anything silly here and play some good straight up and down defense.
Wright State trying to win their 4th win in the last 5 games. They try to build some momentum. It's their last game before the Christmas break. So it'll be a good way to end it here. Try to finish off these last 5 seconds. Lakers up by 4. Gibson's 3 off the mark, and that will do it. Your final at the Grand Lake Skate USA scoreboard. Lakers 68, Bulldogs 64. We'll be right back to wrap it up on NKTelco Sports.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Jump, jump. What? Oh, come on.
Plastic surgery is very expensive today, Coach.
Jet!
Jet? Come on, shoot him.
Need more bandwidth? Switch to NKTelco and run all your devices.
Wright State Lakers in a battle tonight with the Boyce College Bulldogs, and they prevail. Final score 68-64. With the finals numbers, Mr. Greg Burning.
Thanks, Dave. As you can imagine by the score, the stats are pretty comparable. The Lakers were 13 of 21 from the free throw line. That might be a little bit of a struggle they had late in the second half. 9 of 18 for Boyce. Lakers were 20 for 40 from two-point range, right at 50%. Boyce 17 of 40, three-pointers about the same. Five made out of 20 shots for Wright State, 7 made for Boyce. Turnovers definitely swayed in the advantage for the Lakers. 21 for Boyce, 12 by the Lakers. So did a pretty nice job there. Rebounds pretty consistent. Lakers did a nice job in the second half cutting into that offensive deficiency they had on the boards. Boyce had a huge advantage at halftime. I think 11 offensive boards compared to Wright State's 5. They end up with 19 offensive boards to Wright State's 14. So did a nice job limiting that in the second half. Scoring goes like this for the Lakers. They were led by Isaac Clay with 15 points. Ozen with 12 and Quincy Green also with 12. Jalen Huff 8, Nick Pisano 4, and Zeke Millhouse with 5. So some good balanced scoring there for the Lakers. On the visiting side, they were led by Adam Rabke with 19 and Drew McKay with 17. Followed closely by Leonidas Alexakos with 14. AJ Caldwell with 6. Turner with 6. And Demetrius Minnick Tucker with 2. So congratulations to the Lakers. They come out with a win, but had to fight for that one. Not like the first time they met. Like you mentioned in the pregame, they won by 32 points against this Boyce team. And Boyce came out with some fire tonight, wanting to try to get a W on their side for the first time this year, but Wright State able to hold them off.
Boyce goes to 0-11 on the season. Wright State goes into the Christmas break 5-9, having won 4 of their last 5. They will take a break now until the 29th and 30th, where they'll travel up to Defiance College, playing the Christmas tournament. They'll play the host Defiance Bulldogs then. Our next NKTelco Wright State Laker game will be January 7th. We'll have the Miami University Hamilton team in against Wright State. And, you know, it was a battle, and, you know, it wasn't the prettiest thing at time, but the end result is Lakers prevailed and did the plays they needed to do down the stretch.
Sure did. They got a good W there. As you mentioned, it was a minute 38. The game was even. So really just had to put your best performance out there for the last minute and a half of the ball game. They were able to do that, make a couple big free throws and finish it off and come away with the W.
For our van crew, Daniel Allen and Bryce Hamrick. On camera, Kirk Kuffner, Patrick Toller, and Tyler Wolf. For my partner, Greg Burning, I'm Dave Kanapke. Thanks for watching on NKTelco Sports.